Hi, and welcome to another edition of Your Schools. I'm Guy Sconzo, the very proud superintendent of Humble ISD, and I am seated next to the best co-host ever in television, Carrie Brinson. Carrie, good to see you.
Hi, Guy. You're too kind. Good to see you, too. Are you enjoying your summer?
It's been good, but, you know, it's winding down. It really is winding down. This is kind of like our back-to-school show.
This is a little bit back to school.
Hey, and I really want you all to know and underscore it's not only kind of back to school, but it's also Carrie's 1-year anniversary in the chair.
It is.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
yes.
Thank you for sticking it out.
Hey, a year's gone by fast.
It's been awesome.
It's been awesome. And I've learned so much about our school district, met fabulous teachers, students, administrators. Humble ISD does good work.
Well, great community.
It is a great community.
Makes all the difference in the world.
I'm proud to call it home.
Great, great. And Carrie's an alumni, of Humble ISD.
That I am, a very proud one.
So some really neat things to kick off the new school year.
Lots to talk about.
We're going to highlight growth.
Yeah.
Lots of new students coming Humble ISD's way, and so during our board member segment, we'll talk with members of the board building and planning committee.
Right, and we've also got some awards that we're going to talk about that our schools have received. We've got Kingwood High School that received an awesome sportsmanship award.
Yep, and Humble High School got themselves a national award.
I was going to say, so yeah, we've got Award Central around here, Guy.
And we're going high tech.
We are going high tech. Can't wait for our viewers to find out about this.
Can't say anything more about it. You have to stay with us, and you'll find out in just a little bit. So thanks for joining us, and Karen and I will be right back.
Thank you for joining us. The school board, very important to Humble ISD, has many committees, and one of those committees is the board's building and planning committee. And that committee is in place to ensure the growth of our student population, to ensure we have the facilities available to them. And as our viewers know, and as Guy knows, this area is growing. So very important to our board building and planning committee. And today we have with us to talk about the work that group is doing is Mr. Robert Sitton, our school board president. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. And we have Dr. Roger Brown, who's our assistant superintendent for support services.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Robert, a lot going on.
Just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You guys have been busy over the summer. My understanding is you've closed on some school property, future school property, in an area in Atascocita called the Groves. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I tell you what, the development of the Groves is absolutely beautiful. 2,200 homes, average price point about $350,000, and we found, what was the acreage, Dr. Brown?
It's a 995 acre master plan.
Our property.
Oh, 45 acres.
45 acres.
Yes, 45 acres that we purchased in there.
On the corner of Madera Run and Timber Forest. So Timber Forest will extend through Eagle Springs,
Okay.
right on the corner there, large enough for a middle school and an elementary school. Elementary school due to open in 2017. Middle school in 2018.
Okay. So you guys have been busy.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's going to continue. So, Roger, I want to ask you a question about other facilities in the district. Demographers have stepped up for the board and have projected, and they've been very reliable in the past, but projected that over the next 8 years we'll grow by another 13,500 students, needing 6 new campuses, 3 elementary, 2 middle, and another new high school. But we already have a bunch of facilities, and so one thing you've brought to us is experience with a facility study. And so talk a little bit about that, and why is that an essential component in addition to planning for the student growth?
Sure. Well, we are planning for new facilities, as we've discussed, but it's important to take care of the facilities that we currently own and that our students go to each and every day. And so what a facility assessment does is I think of it as like an X-ray. We hire a firm to come in, and they look at our facilities from the rooftops down and really look at the structure of the facility as well as what's being offered in the facility. So they do a comprehensive study and assessment of what's that facility structurally like, and then is it being used to its full capacity? And then they give us a report on that. And the beauty of that is I think it allows us, as we move towards our next bond, which is hopefully around 2018, it gives us a document to work from to really give attention to each of our facilities and the needs in each of those facilities.
And I think that's important for our viewers to hear. So we're not focusing on these, brand new shiny schools that are just in these new developments, that we're also paying attention to the schools we have.
Needed for the growth, sure.
Right. So it sounds like you're having to balance both ends of the spectrum.
We do. We have a lot of facilities in an Humble School District, and so we need to make sure that we're maintaining those so that students that are, I look at it as equity. Students that are in the oldest facility and students that are in the newest facility have the same opportunities.
Sure.
Very important.
No.
And as a piggyback on that, if you remember a few years ago, we did the elementary unifier study.
Yes.
And the whole purpose of that was to look at what's being offered at the new schools, the new campuses, from a structural standpoint, technology, things of that nature, even so much as natural lighting and things like that. And we had all 4 architectural firms that were in our group at the time to go out and study those elementary schools, and they came up with 21 unifiers that all elementary schools should have. So that complemented with the full facility study, I think is going to go a long way with taking care of the older campuses we have.
And that was actually a recommendation of the unifier study, is that they recommended those 4 architectural firms that you really need to do that. You really need to do a full assessment of your facilities, all of them.
Absolutely. Well, Robert, these segments go very, very quickly, too quickly. So I don't want to move on until I get to share with everyone and also ask you in particular. So you are an Humble High School graduate.
1982.
Your life, not that long a life, but your life has been Humble High School and the Humble Independent School District. But your mom also attended Humble High School before the current Humble High School facility was built. So rich tradition there, and Lord knows you've seen tremendous changes over your time in Humble. Share a little bit about your perspective of the changes you've seen, and also be very, very interested in your view of, so what makes Humble ISD continue to be attractive to people moving in?
Yeah, I've seen it grow. And with growth come challenges. We've talked about that with facilities and so forth. But, this community is binding. It's the quality of life, the quality of schools. It's home. It truly is home. And what I would recommend everyone to do, if you get the opportunity, go to Humble High School and go second floor to the journalism department. They have a huge, I call it a warehouse, but it's just a big room, and they have yearbooks from as far back as the 40s.
Oh, wow.
And so back in 2009, I did a kind of an informal history of baseball at Humble High School. And I got a copy of every yearbook from 1970 to the present and scanned all the pictures in and stuff. But what was interesting is each cover had a different drawing or different logo, and several of them had maps of the area which showed nothing but trees where Kingwood is. You had Forest Cove, and Kingwood was just starting. You had nothing but trees between Humble and the Big A of Atascocita. I mean, you had arrived whenever you went to the Big A and stuff. So, we've seen it grow a lot. But I tell you what, I am more proud today of where Humble ISD is, and more proud of where we're going And I couldn't ask to be in a better position right now.
That's awesome.
Well, and that's something I think Robert and I both can relate to. Obviously, I was on the other side of the river at Kingwood, and as a product of Humble ISD, I love being back here, and it's amazing to see how we continue to grow and we continue to excel. And it's thanks to work from Dr. Brown, from dedicated school members like yourself, to ensure that we have the proper facilities in place for student growth and for our students that are currently enrolled in our campuses. So thank you to both of you for all the efforts that you put in to ensure that all of our students have a quality education in fantastic buildings, too.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we appreciate your time. And for our viewers, stick with us. Guy and I will be right back.